everyone, welcome back to Tiki Taka Talk, and today we have the official Europa League recap. The final finished up today, and it's safe to say it was a dominating performance. Aston Villa faced off against Freiburg. Villa had already qualified for Champions League, finishing in 4th place in Prem. Maybe they don't do it, but they come in wanting to win one of their first European silverwares in a long time. But they're up against Freiburg, who finished in 7th place, which gave them Conference League football next season. But they had a chance to win the Europa League. And the first half of this game was really competitive. You know, these two teams just couldn't seem to find a way through the other defense. But that all changed late in this first half, where Yuri Tillemans scored off an amazing set-piece routine by Aston Villa. I was so confused. I was like, what are they doing here? This isn't going to work. Then Yuri Tillemans somehow runs onto the screen, finds wide open space, and shoots it past Otto Bulu, who, even though he conceded a lot, I say he was very good for Freiburg today. And it was 1-0. And then, just when everyone thought that the halftime it was going to be 1-0 and Freiburg would have to come back down, an absolute crazy goal from Buendia. He shot it from outside of the box to the top corner. What could be a Puskas Award goal. And it was insane. I was jumping out of my seat. I looked down, I was like, it's halftime, it's 1-0. I look up, I just see him shooting the shot to the top corner. And I was just star-stunned. It was a beautiful goal. And going into halftime, it was 2-0. And it was just like, it was bad. It was looking bad for Freiburg, but they could still technically come back into this game. Except at the start of the second half, Aston Villa was dominating possession, and Morgan Rogers found a beautiful pass, and he came inside. He struck the ball past Otto Bulu, who wrongly judged to where the ball was going to go, making it 3-0, and that was the final result. Aston Villa won the Europa League 3-0 with a Yuri Tillemans man of the match. And I did predict this wrong. I thought Freiburg would pull off the upset, and I'm sad they didn't, because it would have been so legendary. They kind of deserved it in the first half. That game deserved to be going 1-0 at halftime, but Buendia showed that he's a superstar in the making. And then, of course, Morgan Rogers finished in the second half, and the game was over at that point. There was no coming back for Freiburg. So with that being said, Aston Villa finally win a Europa League, and for back-to-back years, the Europa League winners have been from the Premier League. And it's crazy to say, but Unai Emery has now gained his 6th Europa League title. It's crazy. Sevilla, Villarreal, and Aston Villa. What does this guy have with teams with Villa in them? Okay, this guy is a mastermind, and he's going to go down in the history of coaches. And it's just safe to say that Aston Villa, even though they were kind of dipping in form, they still have a remarkable team. Ollie Watkins was trying his hardest to get through the defense. It was surprising that he didn't even score a goal this game. He worked really hard to get a goal. But with that being said, that is the recap for the Europa League final. Tune in next Wednesday for the Conference League final recap. See you next time on Tiki Taka Talk.